Hey everybody, it's Cam from the Nerdbook Review, or as I've been calling myself online a little bit more recently, the Nerd Knight. I know that sounds stupid, but I'll explain things here. First off, I have to apologize. I know it's been like 6, 7 months since I put anything out. When I said that I was going to, put out new material, record a bunch this winter, and then hope that I had things, ahead and where it wouldn't matter if I got slowed down. Well, then what ended up happening was last winter, I did not end up having any time off. The place that's my largest contract asked me if I would come in and run loader for them full time, a front end loader, pick up bucket. They had two of their guys who were out with injuries. One had a knee replacement and the other one had a shoulder replacement, both a little bit older guys. It was planned. But they needed loader operators and they needed someone that, that wasn't going to want to stay after they were done. I ran front end loader for about 11 years full time before I started making compost. So, I had plenty of experience doing exactly what they asked me to do. They're my largest contract, 80% of my annual revenue. They asked me to do it. So I did it. There are perks and downsides to being a small business owner. And one of the downsides is, when someone who's very important to you asks you to do something, you got to do it. It wasn't too bad, except that now that I'm rolling around to summertime and basically we had really good weather once it finally did calm down and quit being really terrible. And so I haven't had really any slowdowns. So I'm working 65-ish hours a week. I'm working every day but Saturday. Also, my son once again made a travel soccer team, which is both awesome for him and very time consuming. It's crazy how even at like 9, 10 years old, how many games they play, how many things they do. It's very involved. Now, I probably could still record videos even with as busy as I've been, but it's finding time to edit them that's been, the issue on that. Now, the second reason why, and also why I gave that stupid Nerd Knight pun name, is that after reading Lit RPG pretty exclusively for the last couple of years, for some reason, once I started reading it, I just loved it. And it has been 90% of what I have listened to or read over probably a 2-year period since I first started listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I, craziness, decided I was going to write my own book. For some reason, it just seemed like a good idea. I had a really vivid dream where I fell into a dungeon at the last boss, ended up like landing on the boss, killing them. And then in this dream, the idea was that I was going to have to fight my way back out of the dungeon. Instead of starting off at the first level, I was on the 10th level and was going to have to go up. Sounded really stupid. Obviously, it was because I had been listening to Lit RPG nonstop. But it gave me that like seed, that kernel of an idea. And over the course of the winter, especially, I wrote about 130,000 words. In the last 4 months since then, I've only written like another 40,000 total. But what I did was about a month ago, I put that book out on Royal Road. For those of you who aren't familiar with what Royal Road is, it's a place where people put out like web serials. So what I've done is I'm putting out my book chapter by chapter. I put out 5 chapters the first week, and now I'm putting out 2 chapters a week. You kind of try to build an audience that way. A whole lot of the people who are now like the biggest names in RPG started off on Royal Road. Web Novel is another place, but I think they do more like visual stuff, whereas Royal Road is written. The book is called Deviant Knight. There should be a picture of the cover up right there. As I mentioned, it's a lit RPG. It has 2 point of view characters. One is called Brandon. Then there's a female point of view character called Jamie. That's not quite on meta, if you will, of the most popular lit RPGs, but so far I've been really happy with my first month, the numbers that you get. I was just hoping that like 12 people would read it. And that, I would get some views. The last couple of weeks, since MD Presley, I've mentioned him before, the Woven Ring series. He has an urban fantasy series out right now. He helped me rewrite the book blurb. 2 weeks in, I had 600 views and 9 followers. Not exactly world-breaking numbers. I asked him if he would look at my book blurb, and his comment was basically, "This really sucks." So he helped me rewrite that book blurb, and in the 2 weeks since then, I'm up at like 7,500 views and just crossed over 200 followers today. I also hit number 50 in one of the Rising Stars lists, which is a big deal on Royal Road. There's a main one, and then there's like 3 sub ones: action, adventure, fantasy, and I hit one of those today, which, that's awesome. That should give me more exposure. I don't think that I've written the next Primal Hunter or Dungeon Crawler Carl, but I am very happy with how it's been received so far, with regards to, this is the very first fantasy I've ever actually written. Obviously, I've read thousands and thousands of fantasy books, and I've really gone all in on Lit RPG the last couple of years. And, in the past, I've tried to write things before. I think I was in high school. I wrote about 100 pages of a book, but I've just never been able to get past a few chapters in. And for some reason, Lit RPG just that was the genre that I felt like really called to me in terms of how to write, of what I could write. Listen, I know that it's not what what I should have been doing. I should have been trying to grow this YouTube channel, going out there and putting out, letting people see and hear about new and exciting indie authors. But you know what? One thing that I noticed, especially as I really pivoted towards the Lit RPG and progression genre as far as my personal reading taste, was that those books, a lot of them weren't nearly as well received by you guys out there. As my, traditional grimdark or epic fantasy episodes were. I still have episodes that a year later, have less than 100 views on, a few series that I've absolutely loved and that I've listened to every book that's come out so far. And so, you know what? I'm just having a great time. And it's something, too, that I found that with as busy as I am, I have days, I have weeks where I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I don't get home at night until 7:30 after, I've taken kids to sports and stuff like that. Well, it's a whole lot easier just to write a couple pages or write for 20 minutes than it is to, try to record a video and then edit in that time that it takes. Even if I don't accomplish a whole lot in the evening, then I don't feel so bad about that fact, As far as the channel moving forward, I do hope that at times I'll be able to record some videos, but I honestly can't say right now that I think that it's going to be the primary thing I'm going to be, my primary creative outlet that I'm going to be looking for a while. If I do end up having this winter off, I really am hoping I do. I worked like 2,300 hours last year. That is a lot. And right now I'm in the middle of the busiest time of my year. I just started the last place that I turn compost at that I hadn't started yet. So I'm currently doing every single place that I have. I hope that, after basically 2 years nonstop of working, that I will have my break this coming winter. I really hope that can be the case. That's the plan, at least right now. The feedlot has said that, they'll be okay with that. They don't need me again this winter, as far as how things currently stand. But, you never know how that's going to go. But as far as my book goes, you know what? It is, like I said, it's a Lit RPG, so I understand it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like I said, 2 point of view characters, 1 male, 1 female. My main character ends up in a dungeon. As I have said for my dream, they land in the final boss, and that's where the story starts. They're going to have like an unstable AI who has been left alone for thousands of years because Brandon actually goes through this portal, but it was meant for his girlfriend, Jamie. So he doesn't get put in the whole normal thing with a full group like Jamie ends up when she goes through the portal. So Brandon's on his own. That's where the term the Devious Knight comes from. I just actually changed my book cover from one that actually had showed Brandon, his character, as like hiding and sneaking around. People thought it was creepy. Maybe it was a little bit, but first off, I'm going to say right now, I understand it's a big deal. It is an AI cover. I will not try to make money off of it with an AI cover. If I actually put this out on Kindle Unlimited or something like that, I will commission an artist to do it properly. But Royal Road is free. It is not somewhere that I'm looking to make money off of right now. I'm just trying to see if people like it. If you happen to still be watching this video at this time and you decide that that's something that you're interested in and maybe reading this book, feel free to leave comments too. I haven't put it through an editor either yet. I wrote my rough draft. Then I did just like an editing program that just helped me with grammar. I didn't do any sort of content editing at this point yet. So it's definitely rough right now. I'm very excited about it though. Like I said, hitting that Rising Stars subcategory. If I can climb up that just a few more spots, then I should hit the main Rising Stars on Royal Road. And one of the biggest reasons I'm excited about that is I just did not put this book out in the proper way. In a lot of ways, especially after interviewing real authors for years, and doing all these books, I feel very much like a poser. I don't feel like a real author. Even now, feels like even if I'm getting views and readers, I still feel like, like I'm just acting like maybe I'm an author. And so I think that it's something that I didn't go and I didn't tell a lot of people about because, I didn't want it to just completely suck and then be an embarrassment. But so far, people seem to be enjoying it. I haven't had anybody just outright tell me that it's awful. Although I did get my very first 0.5 star rating. It goes all the way down to 0.5 stars on Royal Road. That person hated that I added a second point of view character. Despite it being in my blurb, according to the mods on Royal Road, they have read every single one of my Brandon character chapters, including the ones after they left the 0.5 star review, but they have not read any more of the Jamie chapters since that first one that they left that 0.5 star review. Apparently they really disliked me having her as a character. That was a risk, I guess, that I took. I definitely had people that told me maybe, like the whole, and a lot of RPG is one point of view character for a book. And I did have people that told me that maybe that was a poor decision. But the thing is that after I wrote that first arc, when I get into my second arc, book 2, if you will, then Jamie, that second character, she's a little bit more of the main character than Brandon is for the second book. So I would have, had to go back and cut out another 50 or 60,000 words and change those up if I didn't keep her. And for some reason, it just felt right to keep both characters, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, in closing, basically, I will put out videos few and far between, at least until this winter, where I'll see where I'm at. My main artistic creative focus is going to be on continuing to find time to write that book. Once again, it's called Deviant Knight. It's on Royal Road. You can see the link in the episode notes if you happen to decide you want to try to read the book. And once again, let me know how you think. Give me a follow, give me a rate, maybe even give me a review. I do have some rates, but I don't have any reviews yet. So that's definitely something that would be nice to add in. All right. Once again, I apologize for not putting out episodes, but I thank you for if you've been a fan or a follower in the past, I apologize, and I thank you for watching the videos. And I hope that you guys keep on reading indie books moving forward. Like I said, mostly for me, it's going to be lit RPG, just like I've, been reading for a while. Here and there, I have been reading some books that aren't lit RPG, but they're almost all from authors that I already enjoy, like M.D. Presley. For example, Dirk Ashton actually put out a progression fantasy book series a couple years ago now, and the second one is out. I'm a big fan of that. That fits into the genre with lit RPG as well. Kind of like just not as hardcore stat-wise. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching this video.